have a ton of different templates, right? We'll have a search button available here as well at some point, but you can just Control F, for example, right now, and you can see all the crypto ones that we have. Then we have travel. I don't think we have anything targeted to like local, but let's say if I wanted to create one for ADA compliance, right? So I'm going to go ahead, that is offering ADA compliance as a service. So let's say if I go into ADA compliance demo, there's a ton of things you can do in here. You can password protect your service and whatnot. I won't worry about that just yet, but I'm going to go ahead and start putting in questions. Now, I can, of course, ask my own questions. So I could, let's say, drag and drop this yes or no, and I can say something like, do you know what ADA compliance means, right? Save. Another one, drag and drop this. Is your website currently ADA compliant? Yes or no? Right, you could also just make it multiple choice where it could be yes, no, or I don't know, because some business owners may really not know if their website is ADA compliant. Now, this is me typing questions manually, like it's okay. But let's actually ask questions. Let's actually create questions using AI. So I'm going to go ahead and let's say get 4 questions, and the subject is ADA compliance, and the demographic is local businesses. And the language in this case, I'll choose English, but you could do that in Spanish, French, German, and Italian. We're adding more as we go. So let's go ahead and generate some questions. Okay, so the questions get automatically added in here. You can delete the ones that you don't want. So first question, do you feel that all businesses are required to comply with ADA regulations? Yes or no, right? So you can just copy the same question and you can change it to yes or no. Do you feel that all businesses are required to comply with ADA regulation? Have you ever encountered a business that was not in compliance with ADA regulation? How did it make you feel? We can delete this one. We don't really need it. What, if anything, would you like to see done to improve ADA compliance? Right? I can also go ahead and create yes and no questions. I can also create multiple choice questions. So let's go ahead and do a couple of those. ADA compliance for local businesses. There we go. I'll go for 4 questions actually, or 3 in this case. Generate questions. It takes a few seconds, and we basically create questions for you in the background. I'm not sure what happened here. I think it was because the information that we got was truncated. So that was why. I'll check to see what happened there. But in this case, as you can see, we basically had questions created for us automatically that we can use. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and show you a demo that we have created for you, and you can basically see how this works. You can see how you can create your own surveys in absolutely no time. So I'm going to play that for you, and I'll come back and answer questions, and I'll show you a few more things. Hi, this is Neil Napier, and in this demo, I will show you how SurvAI can be used to generate qualified leads by using survey funnels in your online or in-person business. Leads that will essentially tell you what they want, and you just have to show them the right offer. To use SurvAI, you simply need to follow 3 simple steps. First, enter a keyword. Then select your questions. And finally, publish and profit. Your business can grow through qualified lead generation using the power of survey funnels. Here, let me show you. Let's say that you have a business named, I don't know, how about Kaivio? And you wanted to better understand what people coming to your website were coming for. Sure, you've created a great website, but your web statistics show that a lot of people were coming to your site and not telling you who they were. They had not selected any of the great offers you had, and so you didn't actually know anything about them. But now you have just created and set up your first SurvAI survey and embedded it on your homepage. You even spiced it up to offer your visitors a chance at winning the monthly prize. Your first question is about how they found your site. Was it through a Google search? Did they type it in? or perhaps some other way. A simple non-threatening question to start with that can tell you something about your SEO and general marketing. Then you can start to qualify leads. Our second question asks them if they're interested in your latest product. At the time of this recording, that product is Content Gorilla AI. Now here's where the survey funnel features really shine. You see, if they select yes on this survey question, it will take them, when they are finished, directly to the Content Gorilla AI sales page. No need for your customer to wander around your page hoping to find the page they were looking for, which too often they can't find and they click away to watch some cat videos on YouTube. You can also offer some higher ticket items like coaching or other training. And don't forget to ask for the email address so they can be notified if they win, and you can follow up on their answers. Then after your SurvAI design survey has collected some answers, you can take a look at the back end of SurvAI and see the answers that were gathered. It will add the gathered leads here, which you can either download as a simple CSV file or send them directly to one of our integrated autoresponders like Mailview. While we are here in the back end of the software, I will give you a brief rundown of what's actually inside. Our dashboard setup is fairly clear and helpful. Status is clear, visible or not. How many questions each survey has and how many responses have been collected. Now let's take a look under the hood by clicking on Manage Survey. We showed you the embed feature on our GuideView page. You can also just have the survey as a standalone page and SurvAI hosts it for you and includes all the bandwidth you need. If you no longer want the survey to be accessible, simply turn off the visibility right over here. You can also limit access to each survey with a password and limit the number of times someone can answer a survey so as to ensure more precise results. Now the questions tabs is the real power of SurvAI. This is where the magic happens. Here you can see the survey that I embedded on the GuideView page. Right here is the switch that enables the smart redirect feature I talked about earlier. You can create a variety of questions to gather the data that you want. Multiple choice, short and long answer, yes and no, and you can have them select from a drop-down list, rate their preferences using a star or a slider rating. There are also questions that gather data like email, phone number, and other details. The real power of SurvAI is the artificial intelligence question generation. You can select from short answer questions, yes and no questions, and multiple choice questions. Let's give it a try and see the 3-step process that I talked about earlier. Click on the short answer and set it to 4 questions. Here's step 1. Enter your keyword. I'm going to enter marketing. And for the demographic, I'm going with online marketers. Click generate questions. Then our AI brain presents us with the 4 questions that were generated. This is where step 2 happens. Select the questions. I'm going to grab the 2 that best fit my marketing plan. What is the best way to measure the effectiveness of marketing campaigns, and what are some of the common mistakes made in marketing? Then I simply delete the ones I'm not using and add these 2 to the survey. I can rearrange them until I get my survey just how I want it. I would follow the same steps to have the AI generate yes and no questions and multiple choice questions as well. Then step 3, publish and profit. I can click select the custom URL or grab the embed code to publish my AI generated survey and begin to send my leads through my survey funnel that offers them exactly what they want every single time. Features like customization of colors and various text fields are included so that you can easily get the perfect look for your survey. When the customer is done with the survey, they are taken to the thank you page where they'll be offered any call to action you want. The results area is comprehensive and you can easily export your results to see what people say. The leads area will be where you will find the leads that were collected from one of the SurvAI forms. SurvAI helps you spend less money on ads, less time running your business, and more time enjoying the fruits of your labor. With SurvAI, you will generate qualified leads quickly. Qualified leads that will be more willing to buy from you because you actually listened to what they wanted and offered it to them, which will quickly create a buyers list that you can continue to sell to over and over again. SurvAI takes out all the guesswork and all the technical obstacles. You just point the direction you want to go with your keyword, choose the questions that best fit your marketing plan, and then share that targeted survey with your audience. Heck, you don't even need a website. SurvAI has everything you need to grow your business with AI-generated survey funnels. Fantastic. So let me bring you back. And some of you said the audio went, hopefully it was fine for you, but if not, don't worry, I will walk you through this one more time. Robert, I hope you can hear me okay now. Let me know. Let me just see some questions. Okay, I think it's good. But look, once I actually tried that again, so this is a problem that happens sometimes with questions. When the questions come in and they're not something we can reconcile, it errors out. But I tried the thing again. I basically I chose multiple choice questions and I ran it, and these are the two questions that it brought for me. And let me show you why this is really, really good. So simply asking, what is the Americans with Disability Act, ADA? You can ask that from the audience, from the people that are answering this. And to be honest, if they don't know the answer, it means they're probably not compliant, right? So that tells you who you should work with. And then you can do the same thing for this one. Do you know what are the requirements of ADA compliance? Do you know what are the requirements? If they answer the question incorrectly, again, that means they are not really following that, and that gives you a reason to follow up with them and say, hey, look, I went through your answers. They're not good, unfortunately. It means that you probably are not compliant, so come work with me, right? How can you ensure you can just change this to how can you ensure your business is like ADA compliant? They'll say, okay, I want to hire an ADA compliance consultant. I want to review the ADA standards and regulations, download the checklist, or take an ADA compliance training course. So based on this, you can basically follow up with them and you can make the right kind of offer. If they're like, you know what, I'm happy with the course, you sell them a course. If they're like, I want to hire a consultant, you go offer one-on-one service. If they say, I want to download a checklist, give them free checklist. Okay, so that is what you do. This is all step 2. Robert, you're jumping ahead. We'll come to step 3 shortly, which is where do you share the survey? How do you get responses to that? What about an autoresponder? Fred, what about an autoresponder? You can collect an email address as well. So for example, let's go ahead and drag and drop this in. So it goes all the way to the bottom. I'm going to move it all the way to the top. I will say, what is your email address? Oops, sorry. Let me go back there. Okay, there we go. There you go. So what is your email address? So we can follow up with the results. You ask them that question, you collect the email address, and a couple of things happen. Let's save this for now. In the results section, the email addresses get published as well, right? So the email addresses get published in this case. Let me go back here. Okay, so you can go to results and the email addresses will be published here, number 1. Number 2, they will also be in the leads. So you can download them, you can export these emails as a CSV. Alternatively, if you integrated your autoresponder, let me go into settings, actually back to questions. But if you've integrated your autoresponder, let's go into integrations. Then you can collect those leads as well directly to them. So in our case, we have Mailview. We integrate also with Sendia, GetResponse, iContact, ActiveCampaign, MailChimp, MailerLite, MoveSend. So you can do that as well. Okay. Bruce, it's a great idea. We don't have it yet. We can look to do something like this in the future. So Bruce is suggesting it'd be good to have some sort of QR code so we can just share directly with the prospect from a cell phone. Yeah, we can look to do that in the future. We don't have that yet. But look, I mean, we've done, this is a survey, 38 responses. We had 38 responses in the survey, which is what we use to basically improve our offering. So we used the survey, we ran the survey, we asked our customers, why did you buy a certain thing? Why didn't you buy a certain thing? And we utilize that data to essentially improve our sales page, improve our offer. And once you do that, once you basically do that, you are then able to utilize that data to improve your offer, or then to follow up with people that didn't buy for whatever reason. Okay, all right, so that's demo. Let's go to step number 3. Okay, so my team actually tells me, Bruce, my team tells me that the QR code feature is in beta right now. So it is something that we have, but we are still testing it. And after that, we can make it available. How does that sound to you, Bruce? Let me know. If you were to activate that within, let's say, a couple of weeks or so. Okay, step number 3, you share and analyze. So share and analyze is actually quite easy to do. Within the survey itself, let me bring that up now. Within the survey itself, let's go find it. Okay, right here, you've got a couple of options to share it. You've got the survey URL, you can embed it as well. This is something we are doing. I mean, that's how we got a lot of the responses for people coming into this webinar, for example, is we had an embedded survey, and that helps us collect that data. But when you have a survey URL, which by the way is, this is basically, how should I say this? It's unbranded, so it's not branded to us. It's not branded to SurvAI. So if someone looks at this, they don't know what software product is being used underneath. Okay, so that's good for you, obviously. But in this particular case, when you utilize this, you can send this via email. You can post this as a survey, in different Facebook groups where you are a part of. You can run ads to this. I know someone, Ryan Levesque, his name is, he runs the Ask method. He talks about using surveys as well to do lead generation, and he literally uses that to create segmented leads to whom he can sell stuff. So that's what you do. And because we give you pretty much detailed results, you can do with this whatever you want. You can use this to qualitatively understand what your customers are after. You can use this to improve your offers and do a ton of other things as well.